So, guys, after about a week's research and digging and looking at scholarly articles and looking at different fields of research and using different reference points of knowledge, I have come to a decision once and for all for my stance on the Bible, theology, science, history, etc., etc. And so I just want to take you guys through my research, and I just want to show you guys what I've been researching, what I've been looking at, what I've been digging into. So one of the first things that I looked into when I was uh, trying to find out the age of the earth, right, and trying to find out, just does the Bible have the answer to, the distant starlight problem that younger creationists have? Just trying to find out where did the dinosaurs come from, and is carbon dating reliable, and trying to find out the theology behind was there animal and plant death before Adam sinned. And so I was just looking into that for a couple of days, and I just did so much research. What I want to share with you guys first, though, is there actually was a piece done on a website about Ellen G. White, and this is what I found out actually after looking into the starlight problem. So there was a article on Ellen G. White, and it was basically just stating how Ellen G. White is the founder of the younger creationism movement. And so I was doing research there, and I'll show you guys exactly what looking at. Let's see. You guys still can't see my screen. 1 minute. Right. So if you guys can see my screen, it says here, it says uh, this was Ellen White's vision of a literal 6-day, 24-hour creation, 24-hour creation. She said, I was then carried back to the creation, was shown that the first week in which God performed the work of creation in 6 days and rested on the seventh day was just like every other week. And she said humans, animals, and trees were buried, thus preserved as an evidence to latter generations that the antediluvians, or whatever that is, perished by a flood. God designed that the discovery of these things should establish faith and inspire history. But the things which God gave them, i.e., to humans, as benefit, they turned into a curse, making wrong use of them. And she says scientists are making a wrong use of science, etc. So that was Alan G. White's vision. And so I did some digging, and I wanted to find out, was Ellen G. White actually the cause of the younger creationist movement? Did she make it? And so I was digging, and I found a guy. He is a PhD. His name is Ronald Numbers. You can look up his book, The Creationists. Uh, I think it's like the turning point of scientific creationism or something like that. And his book, he says, yes, young Earth creationism was founded by Seventh-day Adventists. And so Ellen G. White, she was born by, I think it was 1827. And so I wanted to find out, because Ellen White's vision said that all the fossils from the flood are evidence that, or all the fossils that we found today are evidence of a flood. And so after that, there were a lot of flood geologists and people like that trying to dig up fossils and trying to prove that there were evidence of the flood. But I wanted to find out, were there people before Ellen G. White who actually were looking into geology and trying to see if this was evidence for the flood before she was born? And so did some more digging, found out Ellen G. White was born in 1827. And before there was actually flood geology, because actually creation science comes from flood geology. But before there was flood geology, there were people called scriptural geologists. and that movement was born in around 1805. Ellen G. White was born in 1827. So people were going about looking at these fossils long before Ellen G. White was even born. So there's more digging. I wanted to find out, what did the church believe about creation before Ellen G. White was born? I did so much digging and so much digging and so much digging, and I actually found a website that actually teaches or tells what the church believed before Ellen G. White was even born. And I don't know if it's in my bookmarks or what. Here we go. Bookmark. Give me 1 minute, guys. Here we go. I'm just going to lay down some evidence for you guys. So, right here, I'm going to keep on going down. In conclusion, it says, so basically, what this website is basically, it's talking about the West. Let me grow up to see the name of it, because I want to give you guys the right information. This was the viewpoint of the Westminster Assembly Divines, or the Westminster theologians, right? And basically, these were theologians in the 1600s, who way before Ellen G. White was born in 1827. These guys in the 1600s, they were laying down their view on what they thought about the creation day. And so right here, this guy said, here where it is yom, it is distinguished from the night. It is taken for a civil day that is the part of 24 hours. And you know this is all English because the writing right here, as a matter of fact, let me highlight for you guys, because writing right here it says hours, like old English, which is light. But in the later end of the verse, it signifies a natural day consisting of 24 hours and includes the night too. This guy, John Lay, he says this first day consisting of 24 hours, and Sabbath being a large day as another rest, and so containing 24 hours is measured from even to even. And so as you keep on going down and down and down, we have these theologians just basically making their case of why they believed that, you know, the earth or the universe was made in 6 literal 24-hour days. And so we had 22 Westminster divines or Westminster theologians before Ellen G. White, who believed in a 24-hour literal day creation. And so I found out it was only up until the point where in the 1800s where people actually didn't believe in a literal 24-hour day creation. So it was only up until Darwin's day that the church in the 1800s, around 1805, they started getting scared because Darwin came around with his theory of evolution, and people started to change their view on the 24-hour day. Now, this is what I do have to say about Ellen G. White's dream. I've also known, or I also remember while I was doing this research, that although a person may have visions and dreams, a lot of times these people have visions and dreams of things they already have knowledge of. And so, yeah, it's true that Ellen G. White had a dream about creation. It's true that she had a dream about the flood. But people were doing flood geology before Ellen G. White came on the scene. People were doing flood geology in 1805. God knows when Ellen G. White had this dream, but she had to be a lot older because she was born in 1827. I think the scriptural geology movement, it went all the way up until around 1855. And so Ellen G. White was not the founder of the Young Creationist movement. But you know, it's weird how I had to do all this digging and Answers in Genesis and Creation Today and all these young earth websites, they focus so much on the science. When it comes to claims like that, we don't have any creation ministries talking about their history. And so I was looking into the theology, and as I was looking into older theology and younger theology and just looking at fruits and oranges and apples and oranges. I was just finding out that hold on guys, I got a text. I was just finding out basically that sorry about that, guys. I texted somebody. So I was just finding out basically that the order of theology, it just goes into basically the one thing that holds a lot of people from going into the order of theology is death before sin. They say plants and animals died before there was sin in the world, and which is really hard for me to believe because God said His creation was very good, and so that was the one thing that was just really just nicking at me and made me really just look into this deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and how far the rabbit hole really went. So I was trying to find out where in the world did these young earthers get this 6,000 years from? Where did they get that from? And so I found out that there was a guy named James Usher. There was a guy named James Usher, and in like I think around the 1600s, he was the guy who made the he made the chronological historical timeline that Adam and Eve were made on October 23rd, 4040 BC at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I was looking more into that, and I found out that Freemasons, who are Satanists, they despise James Usher and they despise a literal 6-day creation. Freemasons, they don't believe that God made the universe in six literal 24-hour days. They think that God made the universe in billions of years. So I said somebody is wrong. So I was looking at the Kent Hovind and Hugh Ross debate, and Hugh Ross said something that really scared me. He said not only was there plant and animal death before Adam sinned, but if Adam would have never sinned, he probably would have died anyway. And so I've come to the conclusion that I would rather believe in a 6 literal day creation, 6 24-hour time period, whether it's by general relativity or not, than believe that God made the universe in millions of years, billions of years, then believe something that Satanists believe that Adam would have died even if he didn't have sinned, believe that the world that God made wasn't very good, to believe that there's gaps and holes in the Bible. I would rather just believe the Bible. And what do I say about, well, people say the science goes against the Bible. Like I was saying in the broadcast before, it's not so much that science goes against the Bible. Maybe it's the fact that the miracles of or the miracles in the Bible, right, are way ahead of the science of our time, and we just aren't able to explain it. Somebody said something that really caught my attention. They said, a couple hundred years ago, people believed that the Earth was 2 billion years old, and now people believe that the Earth is 4 billion years old, and they keep on changing it. And so when if you take millions of years to billions of years, and you say, the Earth is 13 billion years now, or whatever, the universe is 13 billion years old now, then you're going to be left in the dark again. So with that to say, I'd rather believe that than to believe anything else. So, younger for older for I do believe God made the universe through general relativity. It was a 6 literal day creation here on Earth. It could have been billions of years somewhere else, but I'm going to believe the Bible, and that's it. The theology, the history, the science, it all led me to a 6 literal 24-hour day. And if people don't like that, hey, it is what it is. What about dinosaur bones? What about gravitation? I don't know. I don't know. I just want to be honest with you. I don't know. So that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, hey, if Satanists believe the opposite, I'm going to just stick to what the Satanists say because if Satanists believe it, it's got to be wrong. And that's it. All right, guys.